Hello, class. Today we're learning about ancient Mesopotamia and the geography of the land between two rivers. So, our goals for today describe the geographic characteristics of Mesopotamia, name adaptations people in ancient Mesopotamia made to the environment for farming and flood prevention. Here's a map of ancient Mesopotamia. You can see here that it has a shape of a crescent or like a half moon kind of shape, which is one of the reasons why they called it the Fertile Crescent. It's also very fertile land here in the middle of what you can see as a desert. We're going to take some notes in your digital social studies notebook. So please have it open to slide number 14. First thing, erosion. So erosion's when the soil wears away by wind or water. And this was something that happened and happens still in the desert where your land is being taken away by wind or water. Drought. So this is long periods without rain, which happened a lot in ancient Mesopotamia and the areas where they settled. So what do you think would happen if there was a drought in ancient Mesopotamia when they didn't have modern conveniences like running water? Well, they wouldn't have enough water for crops and they would starve. So they had to come up with some adaptations, modifications to help with this situation. They would build levees along the river. These are walls that keep a river within its bank. So when it floods every year, like we talked about earlier in the year, rivers flood yearly in the spring. The water would stay in the banks and rather than flood all of the houses. And then levees are an example of how Mesopotamians modified and adapt on their environment because they were changing the environment when they would build on it. And then they were also adapting to the fact that the rivers flood. Aqueducts. So these are raised waterways and they are used to carry water a long distance. So another way that they were adapting to their environment and the fact that they would have a lot of droughts. So they would carry the water from the rivers all the way to their farming lands. Irrigation. So these are, well, in ancient times, they were canals that would bring water to crops and fields. Now we have more sophisticated irrigation systems. Silt. So this is loose soil carried by water and is actually really good for growing crops. And this is where, right by rivers, which is where most ancient civilizations settled, so they could grow good crops. So like I said in the beginning, the Fertile Crescent is one of ancient Mesopotamians' nicknames, but it's also sometimes called the land between two rivers since it's the land between the Tigris and Euphrates River. Why did people settle by rivers in ancient Mesopotamia? Well, for several reasons. They were able to farm in that fertile land. Trading by taking boats from one place to another was a lot quicker. They had water to drink, water to clean with, water for their crops, and all other sorts of things that you need water for. Okay, so after you have read the readings I also posted on Google Classroom, I want you to take a exit slip over everything we just went over and what was in the readings. And your exit slip's going to be over Lesson 1 Mesopotamia. It's going to be posted on Social Studies Google Classroom. When you're finished with that, I want you to go through your Quizlet or your vocab words on Quizlet, which is also linked on Social Studies Google Classroom. Please let me know if you have any other questions. You can email me or message me through Google Classroom.